Hi, I'm Bob James. I'm one of the most sampled artists in the world. And I got to admit, I know about Ghostface Killer. I don't even know whether that's the name of a group or a person. If I did meet Ghostface Killer, I wouldn't know whether to call him Ghost or would I call him Mr. Killer.
Say peace to cats who rock Mac knowledge, street astrologists. Light up
Yeah,
the
that's
mic,
my
all
bass line, all right. I mean, this was one that had to be kind of addressed after the fact, but it was finally addressed in a kind of reasonable way. And then I have to think about the big picture for myself, which is that even if I didn't have any compensation or any direct recognition for it, the fact that my music got heard, that my music found its way into places that it would not have found otherwise. And TrackLib will definitely be very much involved in trying to make sure that that doesn't happen in that same way again. We all will be working together to do it in the right way, that it's set up right, and that everybody gets the recognition in a way that's fair. But it's fascinating and ultimately fun to realize how this bass line did take on a life that found its way into this world. It's pride that I have the knack of being able to come up with these memorable hooks or riffs, and that was a goal that I had during this era of how can you create a riff or a melody that's recognizable and memorable immediately. Well, first of all, I like it. If they sampled me with Yours Right as Rain, they did it very, very, very creatively. And all I could maybe even remotely take credit for is that a lot of my electric piano melodies during that time stuck out a lot. But whoever this artist is just took the very simple essence of that and made it into something completely different. And I love the groove that they came up with, and very fun.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some.
I could vividly remember getting a phone call from my nephew and said, Uncle Bob, do you know who Warren G is? Sorry, no, I don't. Do you know anything about this movie about basketball players called Above the Rim? No. Uncle Bob, I think you better check this out because this song Regulate is maybe number one in the country and the movie soundtrack to Above the Rim is number 3. So I listened to it, and the first time I said, John, are you really sure that I'm on this? And he said, yes, Uncle Bob. As soon as he pointed out where it was, I heard it. Oh my gosh, I think that is a little snippet from one of my recordings. That's it. That little whistle thing is me. It's some synthesizer, I don't remember, probably an ARP. So I contacted my attorney, and he said, wow, this is potentially a pretty big deal because this is a very, very, very successful recording. When my attorney contacted Warren G, they said, oh, no, you're very mistaken because there's a sample, yes, on that recording, but it's Michael McDonald. I keep forgetting. They had already licensed it. And we were able to say, that's not the sample we're talking about. There's another sample on there of my recording. Even though it was not quite as recognizable, it was definitely on there. Fundamental sadness that I have about that is that I didn't find out about their use of my bells until after the statute of limitations had already lapsed. So I was able to license it after the fact, but I couldn't go back to the original sales from that recording when they did not license it to me, and I didn't police it well enough so that what could have been a very lucrative collaboration, if we had done it TrackLib style, was not TrackLib style at that time. So I'm happy for their success, and I'm happy for the indirect notoriety that I got from all of the hip hop fans that do associate me with Run DMC. but it wasn't a real collaboration. I'm not carrying any negative baggage about it, but I also want to be honest about it. I definitely have heard of this cab ride, Souls of Mischief, because I believe it even has a lyric, as I recall, and deals with my melody to my piece, Angela. This is a very good demonstration of not being a sample. It's an interpretation of my composition. They didn't take my recording, they took my song, Angela, they replayed it, but they repeated where I don't repeat. They took my melody and changed it. And legally, there are two different kinds of copyrights. The copyright of the composition itself and the actual recording. Lots of different samples, so much so that to this day, it's a shock to me that so many people want to sample my recordings. As long as it's creative, as long as it's licensed properly, I have actually kind of become a fan of that music, and I try to learn from it.
Then the fat cab came to my rescue. Damn, I'm glad black men drive them cabs too.